So those flaps say Horton 50, I guess. And I think of Horton Hears a Who. It's an old Dr. Seuss saying. Horton Hears a Who. I have a friend who moved into a development in north of Gainesville, Florida. And should I make a left? We're gonna miss all that. And the developers of his housing development, I believe, it's like something L Horton, or there's like 2 letters in Horton. So Fletcher is one of the biggest builders, developers in like the Gainesville, Alachua County, Tioga area of Florida, near University of Florida. And Horton is also, I guess, a fairly big developer. So this might already be here because of people not knowing that the streets are blocked throughout the whole way. North, south, or that they're not blocked. So technically, they're not blocked north and south. But you would wonder, as someone just walking along these streets that are for pedestrians, you would assume almost like I can just walk through and then someone could get hit by a car. Do you think that's good city planning for this event? It is if you're a death junkie city. So that is good planning for death junkie cities that kill people off for profit. That's a conspiracy. It isn't. It is. It isn't. It is. It isn't. It is. It isn't. It is. Take your guess. So are these streets closed off or not? Alexandra Day. So should we go in the middle, or? So I'm actually en route to the Panda Fest at City Hall. I thought about stopping by yesterday. My schedule was way over the top yesterday, but it turns out that it rained really hard yesterday. And the rain kept me from running by when I could. And I'm guessing, you know, that wasn't a fun time for people at City Hall for the Panda Fest. So I figured I'll stop by today. It's a 2-day event. Technically, you have to have tickets to get in. I'm sorry to say I can't pay for a ticket. I pay for the basics to stay alive. Staying alive, staying alive. Which way are we going? So at the Panda Fest, early birds, like the first 800 tickets is what I read for each day, I guess, unless it was just for the entire weekend. But the first 800 tickets were like $12, and then after that, $15, however that works. It's possible they just meant first 800 in general, and they probably surpassed that already from what I hear. The festival goes into the evening. First, I thought that I read 6 or 7. I'm like, are they closed at 6 or 7, or is that something else I read? Because I looked up like 5 million things and like opening and closing times. But as of this morning, it says 10 to 10. Joe's Pizza, G-A-T-E, and that Happy Rooster. Gotta rock that thing off. That's about it. 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 So I guess the ribbons are down here, and no one's sure if they should walk over it or not. But they have a neat, new, you know, cemented gutter, if you will, or whatever it's called. Soak up the sun like a house plant. Mango cart. Where's Mango cart? I don't know where Mango cart is. They have it Tapster and Insomnia Cookie over here. So we will walk up towards the Panda Fest, and I figure you can walk around the Panda Fest, and so forth and so on. Oh, there's that aroma. some street or crates, whatever those steam crates or whatever they are on the sidewalks. There's two, one by Insomnia Cookie and one all the way over on Walnut, but way over by like 23rd, 24th. And it always smells like a pool inner tube, like there's an aroma with chlorine, plastic, all that stuff. And sometimes when I have a headache, and I can get headaches from time to time, and they can be pretty on the severe-ish side, I will take a Tylenol, and I'll take Tylenol Extra Strength PM. Usually one will do the trick. They're blue coated. This recent bottle that I purchased, the blue coating tastes a little bit like the aroma of the chlorine mixed with like a pool plasticky inner tube aroma. I thought about the dyes and the, you know, food dyes. What kind of dye do they use for blue coating on Tylenol? And John F. Kennedy being Make America Healthy Again, MAHA. We actually have a MAHA yoga. So, and I think it's funny that we've had a MAHA yoga here for years. They had to change their platform because of the pandemic, so they teach a specialized yoga-ish. But in the past, they were Vinyasa Flow for the most part. But he came along with his own project to 2025, and it's Make America Healthy Again, which includes talking about food dyes, and specifically red dyes. I grew up with the red dye theory. They took away all the red M&Ms, you know, back in the 80s, 70s and 80s. But it's come up again. It's the beep for the letting cars out of the garage there. Under shops at Liberty Place and residences at Liberty Place. They have a high-rise building there. Richie Sambora from Bon Jovi and Cole Hamels from the Phillies have both owned condos in that building. As far as how much they lived there, that's another question. Based on their tours, their games, you know, whatever their schedules are for their professions. And, you know, people buy stuff just to be local for various reasons. And then they might have a home somewhere else that's more like a house. You know, it's hard to do condo living for life. It doesn't feel as cozy, you know what I mean? At least in a high-rise. High-rise condo apartment living isn't as cozy. So, anyway. But as I was saying, food dyes. I wondered about this blue dye. And oh, we got a bird here chirping somewhere. I wondered about this blue dye or the blue coating on Tylenol Extra Strength PM. It's the only Tylenol Extra Strength PM or Tylenol PM Extra Strength, whatever, is the only one that works in terms of sort of helping relieve headache pain. So I just take one and we're good. So I'm kind of curious if out there in the universe on the airwaves of the Mystic River, it's a good one, if the Kennedys are out there saying, just so you know, even in that Tylenol on the coating, there is something in there that we don't love.